So, if you're a solo therapist who's been thinking about expanding beyond an individual therapy, but you're exhausted just thinking about it, this video is for you. Because here's the thing, you're probably already more exhausted saying exactly where you are. It sounds crazy, the idea of adding more to your plate when you're already managing client notes, insurance claims, and trying to have a life outside of work. But what if I told you that the exhaustion you're feeling now, the money worries, the burnout, the feeling like you're trapped in the one size fits all therapy box, what if that's actually a sign that you're ready for something more? Hi, I'm Anne, and I've been exactly where you are. I've built a solo practice, expanded into a group practice, and even created a co working space for therapists. I wanted to share with you the 5 signs that told me, and many of the other therapists I've worked with, that it was time to expand. So, sign number 1, you are dreading work more often than you're excited about it. I remember when this happened to me. I had a full client schedule, which grad school me would have dreamed about. But instead of feeling excited about the amazing practice I had built, I was feeling anxious. If you're lying awake Sunday night thinking about your week ahead and feeling that pit in your stomach, that's not just a bad week. That's your soul telling you something needs to change. Maybe it's the insurance hassles. Maybe it's seeing the same types of clients over and over. Maybe it's realizing that you're trading your time for money with no end in sight. But here's what I've learned. That dread isn't a sign you're not cut out for this work. It's often a sign that you're ready to do this work differently. For me, at first, it meant incorporating therapy groups into my practice, and I've dreamed and expanded since. Sign number 2, you keep having ideas for groups, workshops, courses, or other ways to help people. But then you shut them down with, but I went to school for therapy, so I have to just do this. Let's talk about this for a second. This belief that because you have a therapy degree, you're somehow locked into doing therapy exactly one way for the rest of your career. Where did that come from? You didn't go to school to limit yourself. You went to school to help people heal and grow. And sometimes the best way to do that is through a support group. Sometimes it's through a workshop. Sometimes it's through coaching or consulting. Your degree gave you incredible skills in understanding human behavior, facilitating change, and creating safe spaces. Those skills don't expire when you step outside the therapy room. They actually become more powerful when you apply them creatively. Sign number 3, you are caught in the money worry cycle. You're worried about money, so you pack your schedule with back-to-back clients. Then you're exhausted, so you can't think creatively about other options. Then you're more worried about the money because you realize that you can't sustain this pace forever. Here's the thing about the money worry cycle. It's not actually solved by seeing more individual clients. It's solved by creating multiple ways to serve people and generate income. But when you're stuck in survival mode, it's hard to see those possibilities. If you're thinking, I can't afford to take time to build something else, I want you to consider, can you afford not to? What happens to your income if you get sick? What happens when you want to take a real vacation? What happens when you just can't see one more client this week? Sign number 4, you're telling yourself, I just opened my practice. I'm not allowed to do anything else yet. This is probably the most common thing I hear from therapists. This idea that you have to pay your dues for some arbitrary amount of time before you're allowed to innovate or expand. But here's what I've learned from working with hundreds of therapists. The ones who wait for permission never get it. The ones who wait until they feel ready never feel ready. And the ones who think they need to be further along in their practice before they can help others, they're usually exactly where they need to be to help someone who's one step behind them. You don't need 5 years of experience to run a support group. You don't need a full caseload to create a workshop. You need passion, skills, and a willingness to serve people in a new way. Sign number 5, you have a secret Pinterest board, notes app, or Google Doc full of ideas for groups, workshops, courses, or other ways to help people. We all do. It's the folder labeled someday or maybe or random ideas. It's full of brilliant ways you could help people, but you've just never done anything with it. But here's what the secret collection of ideas really is. It's your intuition telling you that you're ready to serve people in bigger, more creative ways. It's your professional growth knocking on the door. It's your future self trying to show you what's possible. Those ideas aren't distractions from your therapy practice. They're the natural evolution of it. So you might be thinking, how am I supposed to add more to my plate? And that's exactly the right question, because here's the secret. Expanding beyond individual therapy isn't about adding more work to your current situation. It's about creating a different situation entirely. When you diversify how you serve people, you're not just adding income streams, you're adding energy streams. I've seen therapists go from dreading Monday mornings to bouncing out of bed excited about their group that day. I've seen therapists go from money worries to waiting lists for their programs. I've seen therapists go from feeling trapped by their degree to feeling liberated by it. So if you recognize yourself in these 5 signs, here's what I want you to do. First, give yourself permission to want more, permission to dream bigger, permission to use your skills in new ways. Choose one thing from your someday list to just start dreaming about. And also, stick around for my next video where I'm going to share something that nobody talks about when they're encouraging therapists to expand: the real investment behind every successful alternative revenue stream. Because once you understand what you're really signing up for, you can plan for success instead of just hoping for it. I'll see you in the next video.